back to another episode of Cheers PA Beer Talk. I'm your host, Maalik Stark, as always. And before we get started on today's guest, I'd like to give a special thanks to the PLCB for making this show possible. And stick around for the final episode 2 weeks from now of the season. And follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Cheers_PA. And without further ado, Jake Atkinson from Human Robot, man. Yeah, I stuttered through that a little bit, didn't I? How are you, man?
Good, man. How are you doing?
Pretty good. Again, thanks for making some time to do this. Yeah. I feel like everybody knows Human Robot. So I don't know. I don't feel like I have to talk about like where you all are from and all of that, what you do there. But how'd you start it? I know you said that you're the co-owner. Like, how did that come about?
Me and I have two other partners, Ken and Chris. Myself and Ken Carell, we've been friends for a long time. He owned Memphis Tap Room. Okay. If you'd ever been there, that was a pretty big beer bar. Well, not big in size, but like in what they accomplished in Philadelphia. And he was looking to wind that down. And so we were kind of looking to open a brewery. His daughter's a brewer. She currently works at Burial. And so we were looking for a spot. We had found a spot in Kensington. We actually purchased a building. But once this place came up, this was formerly St. Benjamin's. Were you ever there?
No, I wasn't there before.
Yeah, this was St. Benjamin's Brewery for 5 years from like 13 to 18, and then they shut down. And then some developers bought it, developed the top floors, and we just took over the bottom because obviously it's a lot cheaper and easier to take over an existing brewery than to build one.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah, it's a wild. I don't know how people build breweries. Like, it's very expensive. I can't even imagine.
Was it pretty easy to slide into that? Like,
it was pretty seamless, especially because the brewer that we currently have was their original head brewer and built the system. Okay. So he knew it better than anyone. So it was pretty seamless because it's a very crazy system. It's like a German system. It spent time in Japan. It's a very weird system, but it does what we need it to do, and he knows how to do it. And I mean, that's kind of why he's able to make the beer that he's able to make.
Yeah. But you said that that's the spot that's in Kensington that you all had bought?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. And then we have another brewery in Jenkintown that was also an existing brewery.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask about because I was there not too long ago, and they were like, "Yeah, we have another brewery over here." But shout out to the what's the brewer's name? That's at the one in Kensington. I think his name is Dylan.
Dylan's one of our. Yeah, he's our lead brewer. He's the homie.
Yeah, he's awesome, dude. Like,
he's a really good guy.
Yeah, I went up to him and talked to him, and he was like, "Yeah, you want to check out the back?" And I was like, "Yeah, I didn't think I was allowed to do that, but yeah,
do whatever."
Yeah, he said that you all had another location. Was that you said that was pretty much the same way though, right? Like,
yeah, the Jenkintown one, that was a place called Guild Hall had built it out. They only lasted a couple months, unfortunately. I'm not really sure what happened there. Mm-hmm. And then the Chamonix had it for a year or two during COVID, and I think they were just trying to streamline operations, so they were looking to get rid of that, and that one was cool because we were able to acquire the bricks, which was really nice. You know, this place we rent here in Kensington, but that place we were able to acquire that. So It's a really nice spot. Like you were there. It's gorgeous. We again didn't have to do much at all.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine like. I mean, obviously, like owning a brewery or making one, building one from scratch is well beyond my kind of thing.
Mine too, I'll be honest.
Were you did you brew anywhere or did
I never actually was a brewer. I mean, okay. I was a home brewer. I did beer sales for years. Mm-hmm. I lurked for about 10 years. I had lots of friends in the beer industry. I was a ganja guy. I had weed farms out in California. Okay. And so I had just a lot of beer connections and was always into beer. And so I lurked, like every Philly Beer Week meeting since the beginning. I just kind of would sit there and I wasn't really even a part of it. I just sit there and watch and listen. And so after all that time, finally came to be the point where okay, let's do this. You know, once Kenny was I want to shut down Memphis and open a brewery. And I was like, all right, there's a good partner. Let's figure it out. And then, we got lucky that this place kind of popped up.
I feel like at least going to all those meetings and stuff like that, like you had, even before like you thought about doing it, like knowing where to get those resources had to be like a leg up.
That was the whole point, and I didn't have like plans then of opening a brewery per se, but I was just really into it, especially the Philadelphia beer scene. Mm-hmm. And it's just been fun, like being a part of that scene for the last, 15 years or so.
Yeah. Was the goal with Human Robot, like, how did that name come about also?
It's from a Daft Punk show I went to in 2007.
Music reference, yeah.
It was just like, I don't know, it was the first name I ever came up with, and I told Kenny, he was like, I don't know, man, that's pretty stupid. But then the next day, he's like, that freaking Human Robot name is still in my head, and it works as a brand name. It's got the, it just works because it's 5 and 5, and it's kind of like what we're doing, like, we do lagers and ales, so it's just this balance of everything, and that's what it's about. I mean, it's good from branding side, too. It just looks cool. It's just, I don't know, it's one of those things. It just happened. It's like a lot of things in life. It just happened.
Yeah. Was the goal to be, like, the standard for lagers like you all are? No. I don't know if you knew that.
But... Of course I know it now, but not at all. I was always like, this was going to be a hazy IPA thing, and Andrew was like, hey, can I, like, brew some lager? And we're like, cool, bro. Like, yeah, have fun with your lager program. I mean, dead ass. Like, we didn't think anything of it until we literally had the first lagers, and we were like, holy shit, dude, what is this? Like, this is different than what I've had before. Like, why? And so as we kept drinking it, and, like, I never probably had an IPA ever again at that point almost. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And as we just kept drinking, then we're like, well, let's lean into this because this is definitely not that I don't want to. Our IPAs, I think, are up there with anybody else's as well. But I think it was like, okay, we can lean into the lagers here, and then it's a way of like, well, how do we make it cool?
Yeah.
How do we make it cool? How do we make it fun? So like that's where the branding is. That's where the milk tube comes in. How do we have fun with it? And then like once people have fun, and then they're trying to like, wait, this is actually delicious. So it was, he had always wanted to do it, but even he didn't believe in it. When he first brewed the Polo Tamavi, he was like, this will be on for 6 months. It didn't last like 6 weeks, So even he was like, oh, what's going on here? So yeah, it was easy to lean into it.
Yeah, I feel like that might be a little bit better than being like, I want to do this and like have all these high expectations for it.
It is. You gotta let your what happens dictate what you're doing, and kind of just ride the wave.
Yeah, and to the milk tubes, that is. I've heard you talk about this before a lot about like, yeah, it's foam, but like. It is fun. Like,
but it is. It's great. People love it. People love it. I love it. It's just a great social thing. It's great for Instagram. Every 4, if you come in with 3 people, like it's like 4 tubes. That's like, you just order the tubes and then you figure out what you're drinking. But everyone starts with tubes. It's just a super fun thing, and they are good. Have you had one?
Oh yeah, I before this started, I was upstairs. Like I was like, let's see what's on there. Let me see what's on there so I can pour myself one before the end of this episode. And somehow it's a double IPA, and I don't think I'm going to do that.
Wow.
But like,
were you your Luger? You have a Luger faucet?
Yeah.
And you have a double IPA on it. Yeah. Jesus Christ. Does that get clogged?
I don't think that people have. I don't think people know that it's on there right now.
Okay, got you.
But it definitely is, and I was like, man, this is
the screens are so fine. Quick. I can imagine, and a little bit of hot material just makes that crazy. But that's another story.
Yeah. Were you all like the first ones in the area that was doing that, or were you all the first ones to make it fun and be like, all right, you know what, they have this thing? Like,
no, I literally trademarked the word.
Oh,
I actually own the word milk
Do
tube.
you own the word milk?
My lawyer yells at me all the time that I don't defend the trademark, but I want people to have fun. And like, what am I going to? Are you going to send you a C and D for milk tube? But yeah, we invented that. Like, we were doing those Maalikos, which is a mug of foam. We were doing those with Brienne at the very first log jam. And, Brienne, Rat Magnet, she owns Sacred Profane.
So I don't, but I know about.
Okay. She was. If you look her up, you'll know who she is. But anyway, we were doing all these full 20-ounce pours of foam, and I'm like, this is ridiculous. So on a Monday night, me and my other partner Roller, were trying different glasswares, and when we did that, we're like, let's call this a milk tube, and we'll charge $2 on Tubes Day. And literally the next day, that was the first milk tube was poured. And then I called my lawyer that afternoon and said, I want you to trademark this word. I think I got something here.
Was he like just the word or the
just the word? Like, there's not like, I mean, we have like a drawing of it, but yeah, like I'm not, and again, I'm not like out here defending the trademark, but we do literally own the word.
That's kind of sick, man. For whatever it's worth, any other place that I've had it, like had someone like pour one of those out of the Luca, they don't call it a milk tube. So I don't know. So like, good job to you and your lawyers on making sure that stays in house. Oh man. Well, I can't get over the lawyer and the milk tube thing. Like having to write that out or like email them. Like
it was pretty funny. My lawyer was like, "You're a moron." I'm like, "No, I think I'm onto something here."
Is that set up at both locations, or the Jenkinstown place? Is that only like production, or is that like the one in Kinston?
It's both. We do all the Czech beer now, all the Czech style beer. We do at Jenkintown because we installed a direct fire mash mixer there. That was like the only upgrade we actually upgraded all the tanks, but the main upgrade we made when we took that over was to put in a direct fire mash mixer to help with our decoctions and help with like, burning that mash properly to get that true caramelization. And so, all the Czech style beer is now done at Jenkintown. All the German style beer, IPA, and like every other beer is done here at Kensington.
Is that like just being in Philly? Like, are you originally from Philly?
I am born and raised. Okay. Yeah. I haven't stayed here the entire time, but I am from Philadelphia. I live in Fishtown now, so like I ride my bike here to work. I'm part of the neighborhood.
Sweet, man. Is that like I know, like I go there, I would say semi often, but like being from there, like that has to be like sick that like almost like this whole big city like loves what you're a part of, like knows it. Like
it is great. Yeah, it is. Like I'm not gonna lie. Like I love it because I love this city. I've left so many times and it always sucks me back in. But now I'm here. I have a family, so like I'm not going anywhere now. But yeah, I absolutely love it. And it's been great because we have a lot of great connections, like in the restaurant world. Mm-hmm. So it's been a lot of fun.
Sweet. You said at the beginning you had said that you were like before being a part of Human Robot or starting that, like you were into like the ganja and marijuana that specifically with like all the I've seen a lot of places like try to infuse like both like weed and beer. Like how do you feel about that?
I mean, look, there's some, like, I remember the Sweetwater 420 series. Those were kind of cool. I remember, like, they had a G13 beer that they put the terps in, and it literally smelled like weed. But a lot of hops these days, like, they all have, like, the kind of these same terps, like, in them that they all kind of smell like weed. So there's not really – they don't really mix well together. I'm not – we don't do much of that. It's not our thing. I mean – you can't do THC and alcohol, so that's like obviously a big deal. That can't really happen, and like all that Delta 8, that's all trash. I think so. Like I don't really. So there's not really THC and beer can't be together in the same
Okay.
liquid. So like, I don't really see a path forward for that. So they're fine to live on their own, in my opinion.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, that's just coming from a person who doesn't take part in that. Like the most fun I have is drinking a beer at 9 a.m. Like
Gotcha.
that's me. Like that's
I mean, I already smoked a joint, so I get it.
uh, yeah, man. I just like whenever you all started Human Robot, was there any not brand of worry, but like what was some of those like concerns at the start, or was it just no, we're gonna do this, and how it turns out that way?
I think, yeah, we've kind of, like I said, like I've been lurking for 15 years and been around the business. I mean, I'd gone to 10 GABFs in a row. I had been around. Kenny had owned, one of the greatest beer bars in Philadelphia for 15 years. And so we had a really good, just kind of idea of what not to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's mostly what we've learned this entire, over all our years is what everyone else did wrong. So we had a pretty clear vision of what we were going to do. Being able to pull it off, like that's not a simple thing. It has to happen because, like for instance, like we don't distribute.
Okay.
And that was always going to be a sticking point for me. But like if you don't have the liquid to back that up and be able to actually sell it all direct, like that goes away. Then you just have to sell the beer because you got to get rid of it. We've been lucky enough that the beer does sell directly, and well, I mean, it helps that we have like 4 tasting rooms. That's the whole point. So we have all these outlets to get rid of it direct to consumer instead of having to distribute. So stuff like that. It's like we had that idea. Can we execute it? We did for that one. There's plenty of stuff maybe we didn't execute, but you just have to try. But we had pretty good conviction on what we wanted to accomplish and what not to do. Like I said, I mean, that's like the most important thing. How not to screw it up.
Yeah, I could definitely see. Like I said, I'm probably 40 years away from ever thinking I could ever start a brewery myself. Like I enjoy being able to go home. And
I hear that too. I mean, and we have a good working life balance here. That's very, very important to us. It's very important to our employees and our staff. We definitely have a good balance because there's a lot of breweries out there that just work you down to the bone, and it can be rough. And again, like we've seen that happen, so we knew not what to do. We knew how to treat people or how not. So it's tough. It's a tough balance.
I've talked to like 7 people, like not knowing that I was going to sit here and talk to you when they brought Human Robot up.
Oh yeah,
like, yeah, like seriously, like. I would say last episode someone did, but like consecutive episodes almost. But just talking about like how fire the lagers are, and I know that you all make a lot of good beer. Like I usually don't just go grab a lager. Like I'll try something. Like
of course,
I try to match like what I try the first time to like match my pigment. So like I'll go after like a dark beer first. Like I don't care. But one of the things somebody not in the industry was talking about was how cool everyone that works at Human Robot, like any location that they've been to. And
we have a great staff.
Yeah.
We have a great staff. And because they're all like pros. I mean, most of the people that have worked for us have been in this industry for 15 to 20 years. And I'm not going to say it's easier, but it's just a lot more streamlined when they're just pouring beer and they're pouring it perfectly. And that's all they have to worry about. They don't have to worry about food. They don't have to worry about going out and looking at tables and doing anything. Just pour perfect beer and be a great steward for the brand and just be a good person. And we hire good people and we take care of them. And it's a simple. It's easy. They make money and they have a good time. Like what's not to like?
Yeah, like when I tell you that, like me being there. I can't remember what day I was there. It was probably like 3 Fridays ago, and it was just like from the moment that like I walked in, like talking to the guy outside who was checking my ID, like we were like just shooting
It's a
with
whole
each
ass
other.
vibe.
Yeah, like it's just, I mean, it's just cool. So that's something to be
I appreciate
super
that. And
impressed
that's
by.
like, and that's very important to us because, it's why we do a lot of what we do is like to have these great places for everyone to gather and like just have a good time.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? It really is.
Other than loggers and milk tubes, like what else? Like what, like the merch is cool. What's one of your what's a
Yeah, I
beer
mean,
that's on tap
we
with
love
you?
our merch.
You said you do it all yourself.
Pretty much. I mean, so
Okay.
we have our designer, Jimmy Scantron. He does.
Scantron.
Yeah, he's a character. He's a real
Okay.
Renaissance man. This Scantron, let me tell you what. But that was the most other serendipitous thing. I mean, during COVID, he was like making the posters for City Winery and just cold emailed me like, "Hey man, like, can I like do something for you guys?" Because we had nothing then. We were just trying to figure it out. And then he sent me like the Hallertau label and the Czech 10 label. I'm like, holy shit, dude! Like these are amazing. Like this is literally exactly what I'm looking for. Let's do this. And we've just been together this whole time. So whenever I have like a stupid idea, he can bang it out in like 5 seconds. Like the Pirelli Pilsner shirt or hat. Have you seen that one?
I have not, or at least not
You
noticed
know the
it. Like,
Pirelli logo with the long P,
mhm.
the tire company. So we have one that says Pilsner with that.
That's
And it's sick. Like I love it, and everyone else loves it. But like I told him that, and he sent it to me in 5 minutes. You know what I mean? And then it's like, boom, we're off to the races. So having a collaborative person like that who can take my ideas and actually just bang them out in 5 minutes
mhm.
has been great because we can just do whatever we want. And I've been having fun with the merch. We have a lot of fun with that. Just doing.
Does he do your labels also?
He does everything.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Labels stick out, man. Like all the labels on the cans that I've seen, like I
We're
can
really
see
happy with
like
it.
I can see like the side of it and be like, I bet that's a human robot beer
Yeah,
right there.
exactly.
Like without even, which I guess that's what you
That's
do it
what you
for.
want to do. Like, you can be like,
Yeah.
I know what that is. And like, we have different, the IPAs look different, the lagers look different. So there's a way to be able to kind of see. But it's always really cool looking at our fridge and seeing like 12 different brands in there with just really cool
Mhm.
original designs. Um, so it's just been a lot of fun doing all that because I've always loved merch and stuff like that and design. So having a partner like Jimmy to just be able to just to have fun with it, it's been super fun.
As far as like, oh, this is what I was gonna get to. Like, what is one of like your favorites on tap right now, or doesn't even have to be on tap? I don't know if you're huge into like I drink a beer every day kind of thing, but like,
Yeah, well, that's the great thing about like say Czech 10 is like that's my beer,
okay,
4.2%. Like,
sick.
and it's just awesome, And when you have it in that mug, poured perfectly from the Lucre faucet, there's just nothing better. And it's great that I can have like two or three after work, and like it ain't nothing. Like it's 4%. Like it's really
Yeah.
like it's not anything. I'm because I'm like off my whole hop thing. I'm leaning way into malty stuff now.
Mhm.
So I am anxiously awaiting for our Doppelbock to be finished. I've been drinking it off the tank like every day. I love it so much. So that'll be
Yeah.
coming out next week. That's really cool. Did I do the post? Are you familiar with our tin hoagie?
No. Well,
So
wait. I take the. I may have had it. Like, I'm not big on
it's like our
checking.
American light lager.
Okay.
My brother, he's 12 years older than me. He only drinks Coors Lights, only,
Mm.
exclusively. He could be in Prague, and he's saying, "Where's Coors Light?" But he would call them tin hoagies. So growing up, he would say, "Hey, throw me another tin hoagie. Throw me another tin hoagie." So when I was like, "We need to make a Coors Light, and we need to call it tin hoagie," and it's just a great label. It looks like it's just a hoagie wrapper with a piece of tape on it. It's really cool.
Yeah.
But we're doing a special. Well, I guess this is gonna be delayed, so forget about that.
All right, man. Well, thanks. thanks, dude. Like, thanks for hopping on. Thanks for doing it this early. I know you said you're already up, but
Good.
still, the
They know.
sit down and like talk after moving around is a lot. But
Yeah, right.
yeah, I'll definitely. I'll be back around there.
Yeah.
I'll definitely reach
Come to
out.
Kensington. Yeah, you got to come to the mothership.
Oh yeah, I will.
Don't be scared.
I'll grab a milk tube and do it with you. But thanks for listening, watching this episode. Next week is the last one of the season, and thanks Jake for hopping on this. It's been sick.
Peace.
Cheers.